Hey there, I'm Lainey, and I want to start with a quick confession. There was a time in my business when I tried to serve everyone. I was an online business manager and a community builder, offering services to anyone who would listen. And you know what? I was exhausted and lost. My messaging was all over the place. People didn't know what I actually did, and honestly, I felt invisible. Until I made one shift that changed everything. I got specific about who I help and why. Today, I'm talking about the real power of niching down. Not in a way that limits you, but in a way that actually grows your business, makes your operations easier, and helps the right people find you faster. So, if you're ever worried that choosing a niche means you're stuck forever, like I did, or you'll lose money, or you'll get bored, this video is for you. Let's talk about why niching down is one of the smartest moves that you can make for your business. In this video, I'm going to talk you through why niching down feels scary and why it's actually the safer choice. How a niche simplifies your operations and makes running your business way easier. How a niche sharpens your visibility and helps you magnetize the right people, your raving fans. A simple way to experiment with your niche so you don't have to get it perfect on day one. Plus, I'll share what changed for me when I chose to focus on the author and authorpreneur community. Let's get into it. Why niching down feels scary, but is secretly safer. Let's start with the real talk. When you think about choosing a niche, what comes up for you? For most people, it is fear. And you might think, if I only focus on one type of client, I'll lose money, or I'll get bored doing the same thing, or the big one, I'm going to be stuck forever and can never pivot. Here's what I want you to know though. Those fears make sense. I've had them, but they're actually based on a misunderstanding about what a niche really is. A niche isn't a cage, it's a direction. And when you choose who you help, what problem you solve, and what result you create, you're not limiting yourself. You're actually making it easier for the right people to find you. And here's the secret: when the right people find you, everything gets easier. Let me give you an example. I could say, I help small business owners. That's pretty broad, right? It could mean anything. But when I say, I help authors move from part time writing to full time authorpreneur, suddenly someone reading that knows that I'm talking to them or not. When you're specific, you attract better fit clients. You have better conversations. You close deals faster. And yep, you make more money because you're not trying to convince the wrong person that you're right for them. The niche isn't limiting you, it's protecting you from wasting time on the wrong fit. How a clear niche simplifies your operations. Okay, here's where the magic really happens. And this is something most people don't talk about. When you have a clear niche, your operations become so much simpler. Think about it. If you're serving 5 different types of clients with 5 different problems, you need 5 different onboarding processes, 5 different workflows, 5 different templates, 5 different ways of explaining your offer. And that is chaos. That's decision fatigue. That's why you are tired. But when you focus on one type of person with a clear problem that you solve, everything can be templatized. Your onboarding, same questions, same flow every time. Your delivery process, you know the steps that work, you can refine them, you can automate them. Your follow up, you know what they need to hear when they need to hear it. When I chose to focus on women in publishing, I could finally create a system. I could build a clear client journey. I could set up automations that actually worked because I knew exactly who I was automating for. And here's the bonus: when your operations are streamlined, your data becomes clearer. You know what's working, you know where people drop off. You can make smarter decisions instead of just guessing. Less decision fatigue, smoother workflows, easier automation. That's what a niche gives you on the operations side. Niching for visibility and magnetizing raving fans. Here's something I learned the hard way. You can't market to everyone. But when you market to someone specific, everything changes. A niche sharpens your messaging. It makes the right people instantly recognize themselves in what you're saying. Let me show you what I mean. When I used to say things like, I help entrepreneurs build better businesses, that was generic. When I used to say, I help entrepreneurs create time to spend in their zone of genius, that was also generic. It could apply to anyone, so nobody really felt like I was talking to them. But when I started saying, I help women authors go from struggling to figure out how to do all the things for their books to building a sustainable full-time book business, suddenly a female author scrolling through her feed thinks, wait, that's me. She's talking to me. That's the power of specificity. When your message is clear, your content naturally speaks to the right person. You're not trying to appeal to everyone. You're having a real conversation with someone who needs exactly what you have. And here's the beautiful part. When people feel seen and understood, they don't just become clients. They become your raving fans. They tell their friends. They show up in your community. They're excited to be part of what you are building. That's visibility that actually sticks. That's community that matters. And it all starts because you are willing to be specific about who you help. Experimenting into your niche. Now, I'm going to tell you something that might take the pressure off. You don't have to get your niche perfect on day one. I sure didn't. When I first started focusing on authors, I was still figuring out exactly what that meant, who I wanted to serve within authors, what problems I wanted to solve, and that's okay. Here's what I want you to know. You can experiment into your niche. Pick a 30 to 60 day window. Choose a focus. Who do you think you want to help? What problem do you think you can solve really well? What outcome do you think you can create? Then, and this is the important part, test it. Create content for that person. See how it lands. Have conversations with that person. Notice what feels energizing and what feels draining. Look at where your inquiries come from. See if the fit gets better. After 30 days, pause and ask yourself, did this feel right? Did I get better responses? Did the people who reached out feel like better fits? Did my work feel more aligned? If yes, lean in harder. Refine it. Get more specific. If not quite, adjust. Maybe it's a different problem you solve for them. Maybe it's a different type of person. That's data. That's learning. The point is, you're not making a forever decision. You're making a test decision. And that honestly makes it so much easier to take the first step. So here's what we've covered today. A niche gives you direction. It helps you stop spreading yourself thin and start attracting better fit opportunities. A clear niche simplifies your operations, smoother workflows, easier automation, less decision fatigue. A niche sharpens your visibility. The right people find you. They feel seen. They become your raving fans. And remember, you don't have to be perfect from day one. You can experiment, learn, and refine. If you're still listening, then apparently this video is made for you. So here's what I want you to do next. Pick one focus for the next 30 days. Think about who you want to help, what problem you solve really well, and what result you can create. Then come down to the comments and tell me, what's your niche experiment going to be? I do read every comment, and I'd love to see what you're testing. And if you found this helpful, I'd love for you to subscribe and ring that bell so you don't miss anything. Thanks so much for being here. I'm excited to see where your niche takes your business. See you next time.